They mocked her. They stripped her confidence. They tore her clothes the night before the festival. But what happened the next morning left the village speechless. From the moment the villagers of Gidan Lamba heard a piercing cry echo across the dusty compound of the Danladi family, they knew something had shifted. It was the kind of cry that traveled beyond walls, one born from a heart carrying more weight than its years. It belonged to Amina, the girl known in the village as the quiet shadow. Amina had always believed that life handed others beauty but handed her only fragments. Her mother died while she was young, leaving her with a father who loved her deeply but worked endlessly on the farmlands. Growing up, she heard whispers, some spoken openly, others coated in smiles but dipped in venom. She's too dark, some mud. Look at her small height. Who will marry her? Others mocked. She always hide behind that scarf. Does she think it will hide her looks? Amina rarely responded. She simply lowered her gaze and walked faster. But the one whose words cut the deepest was Zara, Amina's childhood friend. Once they played under the mango tree and fetched water together. But as they grew older, Zara blossomed quickly, gaining attention from boys, admiration from girls, and pride from elders. She began to distance herself from Amina, choosing instead to align with those who sneered at her. Yet Amina still trusted her. She believed that beneath Zara's sharp tongue lived the friend she once had. That hope, however, was the beginning of her greatest heartbreak. A week before the annual village festival, Zara convinced Amina to join the maidens preparing for dance for the celebration. To Amina, it felt like a miracle. Someone finally noticed her. In fact, her former best friend. She agreed with joy bubbling in her heart. On the first day of practice, the other girls exchanged looks, some giggling behind their plums. Amina tried to ignore them, focusing on the drum. But Zara whispered loudly, enough for everyone to hear. Try and smile, Amina. Maybe the drummers will play softer if he sees your face. The girls burst into laughter. Amina's throat tightened. Her feet stumbled. Her heart crushed. But she stayed. When she returned home that evening, she prayed with trembling hands. She opened her late mother's small leather-bound scriptures. She read words about being wonderfully made and dearly loved, but they felt distant, like blessings meant for others, not her. On the third day of practice, Sarah had prepared something cruel. She brought a large polished metal mirror and placed it where every girl would see their reflections as they danced. Amina avoided it. She knew her reflection would only echo the insults she'd memorized over the years. But Zara called out, Amina, come and look. Today is for your improvement. Everyone must check their posture. Reluctantly, Amina approached Zara. Zara's voice rose again. Remove your scarf. Let us see your real face. Amina froze. The scarf was her shield. Removing it felt like exposing her deepest wound. Zara reached forward and snatched it. Gasp filled the air. Amina saw her reflection. The face she had convinced herself was unworthy. Tears blurred her vision. She ran out of the practice ground. What she didn't know was that Zara had planned everything. She wanted the most admired boy in the village, Yaya, to choose her as the festival lead dancer. She feared Amina's humility and natural kindness, believing they might draw admiration away from her. And that night, Amina hid behind the old baobab tree beside their home. She sobbed, her shoulders shaking. She felt invisible, unwanted, and carved with flaws. What did I do wrong to deserve this? She whispered. An elderly woman approached her quietly. Mama Kulu, the respected herbalist and counselor known for wisdom. She had seen Amina's tears from afar. My child, Mama Kulu said gently, the world becomes loud when your heart grows silent. Tell me why you cry. Amina revealed everything, her insecurities, the insults, Zara's betrayal, the mirror. Mama Kulu listened with soft eyes. Then she brought out an ancient wooden box and placed it beside Amina. Open it, she said. Inside, Amina found a small piece of polished glass, an old mirror, cracked at the edges. Look, Mama Kulu urged. Amina hesitated, but she finally lifted the mirror. Do you see how the cracks break the reflections? Mama Kulu asked. Amina nodded. That is how you see yourself broken. But look again. Despite the cracks, your image still shines. Beauty is never erased by scars or opinions. It is seen clearly only by those whose hearts are healed. Amina felt warmth rise in her chest. Mama Kulu placed a wrinkled hand on her shoulder. No one can define you unless you give them the power. You were made with intention. You carry light even when you feel hidden. Encouraged, Amina returned to the practice the next day. Zara's eyes widened. She had expected Amina to stay away forever. This time, when the girls whispered, Amina did not flinch. She simply greeted them warmly and took her position. Her calmness unsettled Zara. During the final selection for the festival performance, the elders observed each maiden. Amina danced with grace she had never shown before. Her movements were gentle yet powerful, like someone who had finally accepted her place in the world. After the dance, the elders whispered among themselves. Zara waited confidently for her name to be called. But when the chief elder announced, Amina Danladi will lead the maiden this year, the entire group grasped. Zara's eyes burned with fury. Amina stepped forward shyly. She didn't feel superior. She simply felt grateful. Grateful for Mama Kulu's wisdom, grateful for her new strength, grateful for realization that her worth could never be determined by others. But Zara wasn't done. On the night before the festival, she sneaked into Amina's compound. She tore the special outfit the elders had given Amina. She smashed the beads. She even spilled water on the carefully dyed head wrap. The next morning, Amina discovered the damage. Her heart broke again. Her father rushed to her side. Who did this? Amina didn't answer. She knew, but she refused to point fingers. She sat silently beneath the baobab tree, tears threatening to fall. Just then, Mama Kulu arrived with a bundle in her hands. I knew the enemy would not sleep, Mama Kulu said softly. When goodness rises, jealousy awakens, but no one can destroy what God has written. She handed Amina a beautifully woven outfit far more stunning than the original. The cloth shimmered with golden patterns. The head wrap was adorned with handcrafted beads that glowed under the morning sun. Amina's jaw dropped. I made this years ago, Mama Kulu said, waiting for the girl who would need it most. Amina hugged her tightly. At the festival, the crowd froze when Amina stepped into view. She looked radiant, not because of the clothes, but because her confidence finally matched the beauty she always had. Her dance was mesmerizing. The drums followed her heartbeat. The wind circled her gently. Even the sun seemed to bow. Zara watched in silence, guilt replacing envy as she realized the darkness of her action. When the performance ended, the entire village rose in applause. Elders declared it the most graceful dance they'd ever witnessed. Later that night, Zara approached Amina with trembling hands. I I am sorry, she whispered. I wronged you. I broke our friendship. I wanted the attention you received today. But I see now your light came from inside, not from praise. Amina looked at her for a long moment. I forgive you, she said softly. But your healing depends on the truth you accept about yourself, not on who hurts. Zara cried. Amina held her, because forgiveness, she knew, was the most beautiful form of strength. Amina grew into one of the most respected women in Gidan Lamba. Young girls came to see her for counsel. Mothers sent their daughters to learn confidence from her. Zara eventually healed too, becoming a kinder version of herself. And whenever Amina passed beneath that ancient baobab tree, she remembered the night she learned that her world was never in her reflection, but in the one who shaped her. What has this story taught you? Do share down in the comment section. So, story lovers, we have come to the end of today's story. If you are new here, you're hearing my voice for the first time, or if you've been watching without subscribing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Give this video a big thumbs up, drop all your comments down in the comment section, and stay glued because we have so much coming your way. Once again, it's tale time with Udoka. See you in our next video and bye for now.